Hello there, welcome to Fulcrum and the Force. I'm Jim, this is my channel dedicated to everything Star Wars. And I've got a bit of a different video for you today. Everybody's picking up lightsabers at the moment. It's becoming huge. And you know what you want to do is when you get your saber, you want to take it out of the box, you want to play with it straight away. I don't always know what to do and how to use it. Sure, they come with instructions, but sometimes instructions are not really that clear. Or you're just like, I don't really understand what they're saying. So I figured, if you've got yourself a Xenopixel lightsaber, I'd give you a tutorial on how to use it. So I have two different sabers here, both installed with the Xenopixel soundboard, but both done slightly differently. The premise is the same, but we have a saber here with an illuminated button on the front, and we have a saber here with a clamp where you can't see the illuminated button. So I figure I should give you the information of how to use both of these. So the first hilt we're going to check out is this one with an illuminated button. This particular one is from Force Sabers UK. It's their Fallen Prince. But every Xenopixel soundboard or lightsaber has the exact same setup. So it's always going to work the same. Once you've learned one, you can use any Xeno and it's going to work exactly the same, which is very, very handy. Now everything is dictated by this one singular illuminated button. First thing, turn it on. To turn it off, you press and hold. Simple, that's how we start. Secondly, you want to learn how to do volume control. Everything is determined on how many times this little light flashes. So with volume control, it's one flash. So mute, volume high, volume low. And that's it. That's the first thing you've done, is been able to learn how to change the volume, which is very, very cool. Next is blade type. So, or blade style, however you want to call it. So there are different types of ways that the blade can actually look when it's on. So you have steady, you have pulse, there's lots of different versions. To get to those, to change those, you hold this button down for 2 flashes. So pulse. Now as you can see, it's gently pulsing. Next one is the rainbow blade. So now you have a rainbow blade. 1, 2. So that's how you change the blade style in this. Very simple. Just hold for 2. Fire blade. So as you can see, that's the type of blade. So that's a blade style. So that's just by holding it down for 2 flashes when the saber is off. Now, what you can then do is you can change the type of ignition. At the moment, that's a normal standard ignition, but there are lots of different versions. If you hold it down now for 3 flashes, changes the ignition style. This is a blaster blade. See, when you turn it on, you press the button and it's like a blaster. There are other ones as well you can go through. Broken ignition. So there you go. So now what we've been able to do is we've been able to change the blade style. So it's a fire blade. And we've also been able to change the ignition from a normal just to... And you can do that with every single different blade style. Set up for a blade style, then have a different ignition on each different sound font, and it will stick, it will stay whatever it was before. Now, to change the sound font, we've had 1 flash, 2 flashes, 3 flashes. Change the sound font, it's 4 flashes. So there we go. So we've changed the sound font now. We can change it again. So there you go. So it's keeping our blade style and our blade type, but we can change those as well. So let's change those again. 1, 2. Steady. So now we still have the same ignition, but we have a steady blade. We can change the ignition again to a stack ignition. And there you go. So that's how you use the button when the blade is off to do all these different settings, which is very cool, very fun. Now there are some more things you can actually do when the blade is on with this single button. So let's turn it on. So the first thing, if you tap the button, you're going to get your blaster deflects, which is very, very cool. If you hold the button and hit the hilt, or hit the blade even, you have a lockup. So as if two blades are coming together and you're fighting. It's pretty sweet. Then, if you hold it for one flash on here while the blade is on, you actually have a tip drag at the end there, as you can see, which is pretty cool. Then you just tap to turn it off. Now if you hold it for 2 seconds, 2 flashes, that's how we change the blade colour. So it's to start cycling through different blade colours, and then once you found the one you want, what should we go for? It's a nice white going into a sort of pinky purple, obviously purple. And so you just tap, and that's how you select your blade colour. And then obviously to turn it off, you just hold the button. And it's as easy as that, and it's as simple as that to change your sound font, your blade style, and your ignition type. Everything done with that. With your tip drag and your lockup and changing colour. Everything is done with this button, and it's done relatively quickly too. Extra cool thing about the Xenopixel setup is it does come with gesture controls. It's as easy as this. It has set up twist on and twist off. So all you do, you twist it on and you twist it off. So if you're moving like that, it won't turn on. So you give it a quick twist and a quick twist to turn it back off. It also comes with thrust on and thrust off, which is very, very cool. So you can just be like, boom, boom, easy. So now you don't even need to use the button to turn it on and turn it off. Also what we have, get the volume high for this, depending on the angle of the blade, depends on what you can do with it still. So if you have the blade tilted down and you twist like you twist on and twist off, it changes the sound font.
I'm Cal Kestis. I am a Jedi.
It's as quick as that to go through the different sound fonts.
I'm Cal Kestis. I am a Jedi.
But
Like
then
my
if you
father
have it
before
tilted
me.
up and you twist it, it turns on the music. So you can then play while the music's playing. We're not going to have that on too much because, you know, copyright and all that. But it's
I'm Cal Kestis. I am a Jedi.
it's the quickest
Like my
way.
father.
It's the quickest way to cycle through your sound fonts. It's very, very cool. And then, you know, you're good to go. And that's basically everything you can do with the Xenopixel Lightsaber. It's a very easy lightsaber to use. It's a very easy sort of setup to get your head around as well. Also, it's customizable. So if you want to put your sound fonts, as you heard there, few of my own sound fonts already on there. I've taken off a bunch of the original ones that it comes with, put on a load of my own. Really simple, possibly the easiest sound fonts to add to a saber. And all the really good sound font makers are starting to make them for Xeno now. So it's literally a case of putting the card in your PC or Mac, dragging and dropping a folder onto it, putting it back in, and it works perfectly. So that's very, very cool. However, what if you don't have an illuminated button on your saber? What then? So what if you have something like this, like a Kenobi, that doesn't have an illuminated button? What then? Well, actually, it's exactly the same. What you can't see is under this, there's an illuminated button. So it works in exactly the same way as the one with an illuminated button. All you got to do is you got to figure out the timing. So that was very loud. Let's change the volume. We know it's a 1 second flash.
Volume low.
Volume low. Okay, great. We want to change the type of blade style. It's 2 flashes.
Pulse.
So there we go. Now we have a pulse blade. Let's say we want to change the ignition style. That's 3.
Blaster blade.
Let's say we want to change the sound font. We know that's 4. Or you just hold it till it changes.
It's just bad.
I've only actually got 1 sound font on this saber, so it's only going to be that. I don't like that blaster ignition, so let's find another one. So that was 3.
Ghost blade.
Don't like ghost either.
Broken ignition.
There we go. Same thing though. It still has gesture controls, music. Sound is still exactly the same. Everything is still exactly the same as it is on the button. You just have to take a little bit of time to get the timings down. To just be like 1, 2, 3.
Stack ignition.
I've changed the ignition again. See if we can change the blade style. That's 2.
Rainbow blade.
So still the same ignition, but now different type of blade. And that's all there is to it. It's exactly the same as the other one. You just got to learn the timings of it. And that's the same with every Xenopixel lightsaber out there. They're all set up in the exact same way. So once you've got one down, you can use them all. I hope that helped for you to get your hands on your first Xenopixel lightsaber and know how to do it. If you have any questions, obviously hit me up here over on Instagram at Fulcrum Force, and I will do my best to help you out. If you're like, okay, that's great, that's Xeno, but I don't know how to use a Prophy, I don't know how to use a CFX or a Golden Harvest, just ask. And if you want, I can do a video doing demos of those and how to use them too, because I have one of each at this point. So yeah, so if that was helpful and you want to see more, just let me know. Do the whole subscribe, bell, like video, and don't forget we are 1,000 to 1,000. Which means that we're on our way to 1,000, and at 1,000 we have a giveaway, and it's quite a big giveaway. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on a massive giveaway, and also hit that bell so that you're notified of when I announce the giveaway. Giveaway will start before we hit 1,000 to help me push to 1,000. That's the entire plan. So that'll be coming up very soon. I would say beginning of November is going to be when I drop that video. So be sure to keep an eye, do all the things. But until next time, don't forget, we are one with the Force, and the Force is with us.